2011 Royal Air Force Tucano display. Pulling 5Gs, Dan pitches the aircraft airplane, break up the solid blocks of colour, and also represent the red, white and blue of the RAF roundel, and of course the colours of the Union Jack. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say without the generous support from Babcock Engineering, who provided all our engineering for the Tucano, and Cobham Aviation, we would not have been able to paint this display aircraft this year, so it's a huge thank you from all of us on the team for their invaluable support. Dan's used that reverse wing over to position 45 degrees out to our left, before he'll pull up, roll to his right to fly an on-crowd barrel roll. This manoeuvre is so cool because the aircraft flies a shape similar to that of flying around the outside of an imaginary barrel lying on its side. As the wing lights come into view, Dan continues a left turn whilst climbing into the manoeuvre called the oblique loop. The RAF Tucano is from the short Tucano, or Tucano T1 as it's now known, is based on the Embraer 312 Tucano and is the Air Force's basic fast jet trainer, entering service in 1989, replacing the jet product. Student pilots who successfully complete basic fast jet training go on to fly the British Aerospace Corps, so the Tucano T1's cockpit was initially modified to make it a little bit more that of a Hawk, to make the transition to flying it to Hawk somewhat easier. Student pilots who are selected for basic school students are awarded the coveted flying badge, or the wings as it's more commonly known. Okay, instead of completing the loop, as he rolls down and falls into vertical, Dan will roll 90 degrees off to position for his next manoeuvre, which is the stall turn. And as the name alludes, this is a manoeuvre where the aircraft will almost stall in the sky in front of us, and it'll appear to almost hang in mid-air. The dark cloud there giving a little bit of contrast to the red, white and blue on the wings. Dan using his left foot to use the rudder to kick the nose down into the vertical. Positioning on crowd centre and accelerating downwards, Dan's now going to experience up to 6G as he pulls up for the next manoeuvre, a quarter clover. Flight Lieutenant Dan Hayes, or Daisy as he's known, was chosen to be this year's display pilot back in November of last year, and at the age of 25 is the youngest ever RAF Tucano display pilot. He's a proud member of a select group of young RAF pilots known as Creamies. When he completed 208 Squadron of Flying a Hawk, Dan was selected for instructional duties at Linton, a process being known as being creamed off, hence the name Creamy. For those of you with a camera, you might want to train him on Dan now as he's about red, white and blue flashes on the wing and just demonstrates Tucano's negative G capabilities. Dan's pushing about 2.5 negative G there, forcing all the blood up into his head. Already done today, we've seen you down to the static Tucano, where you've taken away some goodies and some highly prized Tucano display goodies, all of which goes to make a much larger sum of money, hopefully by the end of the season, to present to our two charities. As well as Babcock and Cobham Aviation, the Tucano Display Team 2011 has also been supported by ITP, who have a facility in York taking care of our second and third stage engine refurbishments. So I'd like to thank ITP for their generous support also. So if we craned your necks there, seeing the stall turn, Dan's now going to fly a Canadian brake to position out to the right-hand side. Start. Okay, Dan hasn't quite had enough negative G, so he's going to push forward now on the stick in a manoeuvre known as the inverted half Cuban. So having pushed 2.5 G over the top, he's instantly going to snap to 4, 5, maybe even 6G, forcing all the blood down to his boots. A manoeuvre one to make your eyes water, this one. I'm sure at the top of the loop, Dan's got a fantastic view of all of you looking up at him. And out of the loop, Dan's going to fly a manoeuvre known as the Derry Turn, named after the de Havilland test pilot John Derry, who made this manoeuvre his own. Sadly, John Derry died in 1952 when the de Havilland DH-110 that he was displaying at the Farnborough Air Show broke up at high speed in mid-air. As Dan nears the end of the display, here comes a final opportunity with those who cameras to get a picture of the 2011 Tucano flying upside down. After flying inverted, at 5 and a beat, Dan's going to roll the aircraft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before pulling around to the right-hand side into a reverse wingover. So rolling right, moving the aircraft left, lowering the nose. Boys and girls, it's been an absolute pleasure being here today, and the weather's been superb, and I hope you enjoyed the display as much as Dan has enjoyed flying it for you. I'm sure he'd love to see you give him a wave, so go on, give him a wave. From us all on the 2011 Tucano team, thank you very much indeed, and have a safe journey home. Once the show is just finished, but of course there's plenty